Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is the season finale here at Hickory Motor Speedway, the 2025 American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Series, ready to wrap things on up here in week number 13. Zach Nichols coming into tonight, already locked up the championship here, so it is a battle for the best of the rest coming into tonight. We kick things on off here tonight in qualifying, currently looking at the 93 machine. This is Andrew Payne. Payne sat P number 2 in practice, so this 93 machine does have some speed, as Payne not going to like that lap. He will try it again. Also, Matt Kemp here trying a lap, doesn't like it as well. Times quickly coming on in here tonight. Stephen Hoffman so far with the quick time. Jimmy Gauker right there as well with that 15.28. Jay Bowen there in the 17 machine, able to slot into P number 4. Ron Hart only good enough for P number 8 here. As it looks like, yeah, we have Andrew Payne here back on the speedway. Payne sideways. That is going to be after the lap, though. He will go to 5th as Matt Kemp now goes to the top of the board. We take a look here at Zach Nichols. Nichols not liking his lap, so he will hit the reset button. Eric Hahn in the 7-Eleven machine, he will slot into 10th here tonight. Chase Swank here in the 55 on the car, or the 40 in the sim, currently 15th, so outside of the invert. That invert spot being held by his older brother Hayden Swank in that P number 12 position. As it looks like Chase Swank, all his laps are accounted for, so the only driver that can make a shakeup is the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. He comes into tonight, like I said, with the championship here, so he is just looking for bragging rights, and Zach Nichols will go to the top of the board here, and he will go quick time once again in a street stock. Wow, I tell you what, an impressive number of poles here this season for the 44 machine, and it looks like Zach Nichols will pick up one last one here tonight at Hickory. So that will do it here tonight, and with that, that puts Ron Hart on the pole, Eric Hahn on the front row as well, as now qualifying, wrapping on up. And once again, big congrats here to the driver of the 44 machine, Zach Nichols, getting the job done. Now he only has one more thing left to do here at the conclusion of 125. Try and pick up another checkered flag here. As we take a look here at Hickory Motor Speedway, and as you can tell, a kind of tight 1 and 2 here, and then it kind of opens on up into 3, a big sweeping corner, and then kind of gets tight right at the front straightaway. So where we will see calamity here tonight, definitely off of turn number 4 right here on the speedway. Looks like a nice cool night here, 65 degrees, track temperature 71, so these things will be hooked on up and can definitely wear out some tire if the driver's not careful, because a long distance here tonight, 125 laps, longest one on the schedule to close things on off. As quite a few cars here out on the speedway, just trying to shake things on down, see what is left out here on the racetrack. Like I said before, Zach Nichols coming into tonight with that championship already locked on up. 7 wins for him up on the season. Then P number 2, Chuck Darling, comes in with about a 5-point advantage over his teammate Ron Hart. Hart, though, going to start on the pole will get at least 1 bonus point for leading a lap right away. So Hart would then just have to finish 4 spots better than the 88 machine. Just behind them, Dave Payton comes into tonight 4th in points, and Zach Coyer 1 point behind Payton. He sits in 5th. Anthony Danta not here tonight. He currently sits 6th in the points. 7th is Hayden Swank. 8th going to Caleb Ramsey. And it looks like Ramsey not here as well. Stephen Hoffman in 9th, and Andrew Payne here rounding out the top 10. As here we go, we get ready to rock and roll as we get ready to head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup. So here we go. Tonight's starting lineup will look like the following here at Hickory. Ron Hart in the 51 machine will lead the field to the green flag. Just outside will be the 7-Eleven. That is Eric Hahn. Rolling off P number 3 here will be the 38 machine of Dave Payton. And Greggy Long in the 21 will start in 4th. Rounding out the top 5, that will be the 7 car of Pete Dillon. And Jay Bowen in the 17 will roll off in 6th. 7th will be Andrew Payne. 8th going to Chuck Darling. 9th is Jimmy Gauker. Rounding out the top 10 is Stephen Hoffman. Matt Kemp here will start in P number 11. And Zach Nichols here will start in the 12th position. 13th will be Hayden Swank. 14th going to Landon Atkins. Zach Coyer will roll off 15th. Chase Swank will roll off 16th. And then John DeMeester starting shotgun on the field. Of course, Hart, winning last week, will start shotgun on the field. Excuse me, actually the 7 car of Pete Dillon. Dillon, of course, last week's winner, so he will roll off dead last. It looks like the front row also taking an ELL here, saying, hey, you guys can put me scratch on the field. Both Eric Hahn and Ron Hart here tonight. So with that, that will shake things on up for that front row. It will now be Greggy Long, Dave Payton leading them to the green flag here. As this time by at the start finish line, we will get the 1 to go signal. We'll turn them on loose here for 125 laps to wrap things on up for 2025. Remember, 2026 starts off with a bang here in ASRC with the third annual, or I should say third official ASRC Snowball Derby. As here we go, Long, Payton on the front row. Dave Payton will fire on off, and we go green flag racing here at Hickory. Greggy Long here able to roll that outside lane in 1 and 2. The 21 machine will lead lap number 1 here tonight. Payne will hang on to 2nd, then side by side for 3rd. Payne down low in the 93 machine. Bowen up top here in the 43. Right behind them, cars starting to single file on out. Gauker, Kemp kind of riding around on that inside lane here. Out in front, Greggy Long starting to check out from the rest of the field, stretching his legs on out to about a 2nd advantage, as here still side by side. Bowen able to get clear, so the 43 machine up to P number 2, or the 17 in the timing and scoring. Payne will slot into line for the time being in P number 4. Right behind them, Zach Nichols currently making his way back up through the field here. Nichols trying to get around Hayden Swank for that 7th position. He will be able to do that there right through 1 and 2. Right behind them, 3 wide race in action, at least for the time being. Landon Atkins, Chuck Darling side by side here. Atkins down low in the 14 machine, Darling up top in the 88. Now here comes the 55 of Chase Swank as well. Chuck Darling losing a handful of spots here right in a row. Looks like this 88 machine might be just riding on out for the time being, kind of buying his time, as the guy that started dead last here tonight, Pete Dillon, he has made his way up to 13th here. Looks like the one car, Michael Deach here, able to get out to the speedway, so he is out on track, one lap down. So if we were to get a caution here, that one car could be back on the lead lap here, as Jimmy Gauker able to get around Dave Payne. Same with Bowen. Now here comes the 15 or the 915 machine of Matt Kemp, trying to take a peek to the outside. Kemp knows he has to get up on the move, because right behind him sits that 44 machine of Zach Nichols. Andrew Payne got shuffled back quite a few positions. Payne now runs in the 10th position here, as it looks like Zach Hoyer, Landon Atkins, Hayden Swank all up here in a tussle as well. That 13 machine of Zach Hoyer here, he looks pretty sporty. Of course, qualified outside of the invert, and he is one of the biggest mover. He is the biggest mover, in fact, so far here tonight. Oh, as he gets tagged there by Atkins, will somehow save that race car as well as not right rear hook Hayden Swank. Wow, that was a close call there, as I believe Atkins gets into the left rear there of the 13 machine. So they might all cool it on down maybe for a lap or two before thinking about getting elbows out racing once again. Pete Dillon continuing to make his way up to that top 10 here tonight. That 7 machine now up into 11th. Next car, he has his sights set on the 93 machine of Payne, and that would be for P number 10 here. Out in front though, man, Greggy Long is putting on a clinic, at least for the time being. Long has a 2-second advantage, as it looks like they will put the one car now 2 laps down for the time being. So next car in jeopardy of going 1 lap down is the 711 machine. Currently sits about a quarter, just above a quarter of a track, probably around 3/8 of this 3/8 mile here tonight. So definitely has some time here, but the first 5th of tonight's race about to be done and over with as we approach lap 25 of the 125, and then we head into familiar territory. Last week 100 lapper. From that point on, it will be a 100 lapper here, as Matt Kemp and Zach Nichols have both gotten around the 38 machine of Dave Payton. Now Hayden Swank will try and do the same. Swank down there on that bottom side, kind of almost putting the left sides right on the apron, trying to get that car to rotate. And yeah, that time in 1 and 2 almost puts all the way the right sides of that race car down on that yellow Payton line here. So that tells me one thing: these cars might be a little bit on the tighter side here for the time being. So just trying to get any sort of rotation, as Payton and Swank will make a little bit of contact there. Looks like no harm, no foul for the time being between the two of them. as they get once again very, very close to one another, almost leaning on each other. As one car goes on around, that is the 13 machine of Zach Coyer. So Coyer will spin that thing on out and bring out our first Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening here tonight. So let's take a look, see what happened to the 13 machine off of turn number 4. As it looks like, yeah, maybe Coyer a little bit sideways then. Payne maybe just into the back of the 13 machine. Looks like Coyer did get a piece of that inside wall, but definitely didn't get it too fast. So I think Coyer might be halfway all right here, as that right side doesn't look too much damaged here. Looks like Payne will bring that race car down on pit road. It still looks pretty all right, but remember, no sets of tires here tonight on pit road. So only time you're really coming on down is to repair some of that damage. As one guy that definitely didn't want to see this caution flag here was this 21 machine of Greggy Long. Long having over a 2-second advantage. That all gets erased here. As it should be a really interesting choice where this 21 machine will choose. I mean, the bottom side definitely has a shorter distance to turn number 1, but it seems like that high side seemed like a pretty good place to pass, as well as it looks like Long going to choose the outside of the front row. So that will move Bowen up to the inside of the front row here, as the rest of the field will double on up and we get ready to head back to green flag racing here. So it's going to be Bowen and Long on the front row, Greggy Long on the loud pedal, and we head back to green flag racing. Long will be able to get clear for a split second, but has a longer way to go through 1 and 2, though he will be able to pull on clear from the 43. Now here comes Matt Kemp here on that outside lane, going to try and get a nose to the right rear quarter panel here of that 43 machine. Right below him sits the 2 machine of Jimmy Gauker. Those two side by side for P number 3. Right behind them sits the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. Nichols up into the top 5 here. Right behind them, 2 by 2, 2 rows deep. Has a good battle right there for quite a few positions just inside the top 10 here. Contact down the back straightaway between Gauker and Kemp. That'll push the 15 machine up a little bit wide. Allow Gauker to get clear. Now Kemp under fire from Zach Nichols. Pete Dillon continuing to work his way up through the field here tonight. Dillon up into 8th, trying to get 7th away from Swank, but looks like Swank will shut the door in turns 1 and 2 there, as we'll leave it on open there through 3 and 4. As man, that sounds pretty cool, TJ. I mean, what are you doing down there? As bummer you had to miss here tonight, but hopefully weather pretty nice. I know tomorrow is supposed to be a little bit of a heat wave, so as a little bit of contact there for position, elbows out racing, as Dillon able to slot back into 8th, but a little bit of contact. One driver that was really saving his stuff, Ron Hart, in that first run, he is starting to turn it on up here, and he has driven now up into 11th. So the field definitely spread on out, and for the time being, everyone just clicking off laps here. So I say with these guys getting ready to go on by, we will do a little turn 3, turn it up here tonight with the street stocks at Hickory Motor Speedway. Alrighty, we are back here at Hickory Motor Speedway, and everyone's still kind of riding on around. It was really interesting to see, especially in these corner shots, drivers trying a little bit of different lines. Reggie Long, definitely one of the cars, the highest up on entry there into turn number 3. As we take a look at a battle here, Stephen Hoffman trying to get around the 14 of Landon Atkins. As yeah, TJ, that sounds pretty exciting. Definitely an early Christmas present. I assume brand new one just rolling off the line there. As Pete Dillon here once again starting to put pressure on the 35 machine of Hayden Swank. So let's ride on board with Swank. And you can see right there, a little bit of nose damage for the 7 machine on that right front quarter panel. Oh, as behind them, Stephen Hoffman, Ron Hart get together, and Hart will go on around, and that will draw our second caution here of the evening, as the 51 machine, after saving those tires, that might be all for naught, as he will turn it on around. We'll take a look here, see what happened. As it actually started between Hoffman and Atkins, and Ron Hart just had a good run there, took a peek to the inside, then all of a sudden a car bouncing on down the racetrack and right into the right front. Definitely Ron Hart on the worst end of that one. As we see the 13 machine of Zach Hoyer, he was involved in that first caution here, so trying to get some of that damage repaired. Hoyer, after that yellow, running in about the 13th position here. Looks like that damage is enough that the 13 will gamble here to go one lap down to try and get more of that damage repaired there, at least in one sitting, as it looks like the one car will get one of his 2 laps back here. As actually, no, with this being the second caution, he's actually back onto the lead lap here. So everyone that has taken the green flag still out here and racing, as Greggy Long this time will have the choose, and this time around going to choose the inside lane here on the restart. As the rest of the field gonna double on up once again, it's gonna be Bowen and Long on the front row. Reggie Long in the 21 machine gonna fire on off at any time. Will do so right in the middle of the box, and once again get away with a great start here. He will be able to get clear going into turn number 1. Now it is Gauker and Bowen side by side. Those two running inches apart of one another. Right behind them, Kemp and Nichols sit there 2 by 2 as well. Gauker, though, able to get the advantage into turn number 3 with that corner being such a sweeper. If you can kind of cut that corner low, get that car to rotate at the apex, you can pick up a little bit of advantage to the car to the outside. As it looks like Gauker will slot into P number 2. So he will try and chase down his teammate for that race lead. Oh, quite a few cars tagging the backstretch wall. The first one, though, of them was that 44 machine of Nichols. That car, though, still looking pretty clean, so I believe didn't get it too bad, but can't afford too many more of those as we are still just barely in the first half of this race. Nichols able to keep that high side rocking and rolling. Now to the outside of Bowen, so that will be for a podium spot here. Nichols now clear for P number 3 as Matt Kemp not able to get to the outside of the 43, so they will all single file on out for the time being. Ron Hart, even though he was involved in that last incident, it seems like those tires being taken care of for that beginning part still paying off for the 51 machine as he has once again driven on up into the top 10. Landon Atkins now under fire from Andrew Payne, so Payne to the inside here of that 14 machine. Atkins going to get a little bit loose there on corner entry, and that's what I've been starting to see out of that 14 here, so you got to wonder, is that right rear going on away here? Getting a front and rear clip, I assume. Hopefully getting some of the new updates as well with those clips, but definitely not exciting what causes the need for a clip, but when you can get a new one in the off season, it definitely gives you at least a good feel and looking forward to the next season. As this time by here for our race leader Greggy Long, he has received the cross flags here, so we are halfway down through this one. As Long has led the first half of this race, going to walk away with the most laps led here, but you got to wonder, what does Gauker have left in the tank? And same with Zach Nichols up to P number 3. Still taking a look at this battle for 7th here, as this thing has been a barn burner for quite a few laps. As I say, let's ride on board with Landon Atkins here, looking out the front of that race car, just trying to keep to the outside here of the 93 machine. Let's take a look at this race. And further up front, though, Greggy Long, a big-time moment. Jimmy Gauker going on around, and heads up, Landon Atkins just able to get through that one. Wow. Riding on board with a little bit of wreck avoidance live there. As we will take a look here, see what brought out our third caution as race leaders get into it with each other. So here we go already. Jimmy Gauker and Greggy Long sideways there, and looks like Long just trying to hang on to that race car tag in the left rear of the 2 machine. And I don't know how Long doesn't get absolutely cleaned on out there, stopped in the racetrack. As yeah, we'll take a look here a little bit further on out. Looks like Jimmy Gauker just trying to get onto the outside of the 21 machine. Gets just straight into the back bumper. Then Greggy Long there in the 21, just out of control on the whole front straightaway. And then ends up losing it into turn number 1. Wow. So definitely big time drama. And let's just take a look. I mean, this is it at full speed here, so everything happened, of course, very, very quickly. But the driver that is going to benefit the most out of that one here, Zach Nichols, leads here tonight. Jimmy Gowker, because he didn't come to a complete stop here, he will actually restart in the third position, so at least gets to keep some of his track position, but you got to wonder about those tires underneath that 2 machine with that big slide. So it's going to be a 50-lap shootout left in this one from this point on. Zach Nichols going to choose the inside lane once again. Bowen on the outside of the front row. It's going to be Nichols, Bowen on the front row here, and Zach Nichols in control. He gets to choose when to fire on off once again in the middle of the box, but it works out well. Nichols to the point by a car length into turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for third. Oh, 3 wide here down the back straightaway. How did that work there? As it looks like Landon Atkins into the left rear of the 93 machine, and somehow Payne will hang on to it, and everyone else, both Dillon and Hoffman, checking on up for the 93 machine. Man, that could have been a big one there, but luckily working out all right. As further on back here, Greggy Long making it 3 wide for a split second. Ron Hart here stopped on the front straightaway. Looks like John DeMeester involved, and cars still having issues. It looks like the 7-Eleven machine involved as well. So wow, big time calamity inside of 50 laps to go. As we'll take a look here, see what happened, but the driver's sitting second and third in points involved in this one. So here we go. We take a look here. It looks like Andrew Payne into the back of Ron Hart. Landon Atkins, a big time slide. He will save the race car. Then on the front straightaway, Chuck Darling into Ron Hart. It looks like those two involved. Then Chuck Darling, oh, he maybe keeps his foot on the throttle and just collects a 7-Eleven. That was kind of an innocent bystander there. Wow, let's take a look here. Maybe ride on board with the 7-Eleven and see what he saw. I mean, that smoke, it clears for him. He thinks he's good. We'll kind of just keep pace, and then whammo, surprise car out of left field there. As it looks like quite a few cars down on pit road. Hart down there, Eric Hahn in the 7-Eleven. And it looks like Chuck Darling done for the night. He is already starting to pack up that 88 machine. So like I said, the first incident of the evening that involved cars that will not continue here tonight. And I think with the points though, it's going to be very close to see if Dave Payton can maybe try and squeak out enough points. I mean, he came back 14 points behind, and Hart and Darling sit 17th and 18th, so Payne really needs about a top 5 finish. As here we go, once again, Zach Nichols going to lead the field to the green flag. Once again, get a good restart out in front, so those kind of yips from earlier in the season with shifting have gone on away from the 44. He has looked pretty good recently on restarts. Out in front, Nichols leads the way over Jimmy Gowker. Gowker has been able to get back up to P number 2. Right behind them, Jay Bowen able to hang on to third. Hayden Swank, though, was trying to get around that 43 machine. And it looks like now under fire from Landon Atkins. Atkins still trying to drive up through the field here tonight. As a lot of cars sideways here. Zach Coyer, Andrew Payne getting close to each other. Same with Greggy Long and Chase Swank as well. Drivers knowing that time is running on out here tonight, and knowing they got to start turning up the pace to see what they can get. Atkins able to get around there, the 15 machine of Matt Kemp. So Kemp currently running in the 6th position, but starting to lose touch just a little bit from that top 3. But you can see some damage on the left front quarter panel there of that 15 machine. Jimmy Gauker, even with the slide out of the 2 machine, still able to put down some decent lap times. I mean, last time by, Zach Nichols able to do a 15.69, whereas Jimmy Gauker a 15.74. As it looks like they will try and lap the 51 machine of Ron Hart. So that should put, you know, the 915 of Matt Kemp in a really interesting spot here, as Kemp will be having to just squeeze through the middle, able to do just that. But look at this, Stephen Hoffman, he is driving on up through the field, as Hoffman trying to get that 6th position away, as he will do just that on the front straightaway. So Hoffman trying to drive his way on up into the top 5 for the first time here tonight. Matt Kemp continuing to slide down the order here. So looks like that 15 machine definitely struggling somewhere in the handling department, as a big slide that time into turn number 3. So looks like that entry of the 15 might be losing that right rear tire here tonight. Once that thing starts to go, it starts to get wicked loose on entry, and that's what we see once again out of the 15. I mean, starting to lay down black marks here at Hickory. In front of them, Stephen Hoffman trying to drive on up into this top 5 here. So Hoffman to the inside of Landon Atkins. Matt Kemp now under fire from Chase Swank. Those two will go side by side for P number 8 right behind them. Greggy Long here thinking about taking it 3 wide. Will think better of it, at least down the back straightaway. But this 21 machine trying to rebound after a incident for the race lead that involved him here. John DeMeester out here trooping this race on out. He is out here with no nose on the 2 machine, but he currently sits in P number 15 with now about 25 laps left in this one. Kemp and Chase Wayne continue to stay side by side. Chase's older brother Hayden up to P number 4 here, trying to run down Jimmy Gauker, but right now pretty even lap times from the 2 and the 35. As Landon Atkins, big moment in a turn number 1. Not sure if Atkins and Hoffman made contact there, but the 14 machine way up the racetrack, and Pete Dillon here, he is now trying to get 6th away from the 14. Those two will enter in side by side, dead even down the back straightaway as well. This is where the time the inside lane can make up some time, and looks like a little bit there, but give the advantage to the 14 at the stripe. Contact a little bit, elbows out racing now that we are inside of 25 to go. This time by at the stripe for Zach Nichols. It is now 22 to go, as man, some great racing for P number 6 here. Pete Dillon just trying to lean on that left rear if he can, but got a bit too sideways on corner entry that time, so we'll probably have to cool off that right rear for maybe a lap or 2 and then try it on again, because he has Chase Swank once again right there on the back bumper. Matt Kemp here might fall out of the top 10, as it looks like Andrew Payne will try and get around that 15 machine. Contact here, Landon Atkins, Chase Swank will lean on each other big time. Now here comes the 21 machine of Greggy Long. These cars starting to get very, very loose, so we are definitely seeing who did not take care of their stuff, as they are definitely struggling for pace on corner entry. Pete Dillon trying to hang on to 6, but now opens up the door for the 55 machine of Chase Swank. So Chase Swank looking pretty good. Those two will now make contact. Chase Swank will try and save it. Atkins into the back of the 55, and it looks like Chase Swank going to break the right front there on the 55 machine. Payton now sideways, but now Atkins no front nose on the 14 machine. So that is definitely not going to help that race car turn whatsoever. We stay though, green flag racing out in front. Zach Nichols leading the way over Shea Bowen in P number 2. Jimmy Gowker sits in third though, with Hayden Swank within 2 car lengths of third. Stephen Hoffman sits in 5th, and then 6th on back. We just saw that big time shake up there. Can any more drama happen now with 15 to go? Payton definitely hasn't moved on up enough to take advantage of the situation with Hart and Darling. As Pete Dillon got that thing big time sideways right at the apex in 1 and 2. Greggy Long going to try and float it on in there on that bottom side. And man, kind of 4-wheel drifter right up into the door. That time overcorrecting into the side of Dillon. Now gets into the back of him. So Pete Dillon going to be way out of sorts there from contact from the 21. And man, Pete Dillon going to lose on out. Going to fall all the way outside of the top 10. As look at this, elbows out racing once again. As Greggy Long and Matt Kemp, man, they were going at it for a lap or two. That also slowed down the 21 machine of Long, though he will try and keep the 15 of Kemp at bay for the time being. Pete Dillon just trying to hang on to that race car for the time being. This time by at the start finish line, 2 open palms from the flagman. It is now 10 to go here tonight. As look at this, Michael Deach trying to get up into the top 10 here. He currently sits in 11th, right behind Dave Payton for P number 10. As wow, not sure what happened here, but Hayden Swank losing P number 4 to Stephen Hoffman. Now here comes Hoffman on the charge, trying to put some pressure on Jimmy Gowker. So this could be a good race to the finish, as let's ride on board with Stephen Hoffman. He did a great job at managing his pace here at the start. And I tell you what, this 86 machine looks pretty sporty, though only 5 laps left in this one. He definitely has to get this pass done and do it quick. As wow, what a power move there from Hoffman, able to get the pass done very easily, as now we go 5 to go here tonight at Hickory. So a great move by Hoffman, able to keep the pace right where he wants it. Man, I tell you what, Landon Atkins just trying to hang on to that 14 machine for the time being right there. 3 wide for a split second, as Pete Dillon gets big time sideways. As man, oh man, I think a lot of these drivers have driven the tires on off these race cars, but one guy that has taken over the point, dominated the second half of this race, Zach Nichols here tonight, looking for career win number 8 this season. As this time by, he will see popsicle sticks up in the air. Zach Core going to get up and out of the way. as it looks like Chase Swank having some sort of issue. Chase Swank done for the evening as well. As this time by, we will see the white flag for the final time in 2025 for ASRC. As Zach Nichols down the back straightaway for the final time, and through 3 and 4 he will come as the super, the street stock, and the overall champion here for the 2025 fall ASRC season. As man, put together a lot of impressive runs as photo finished to the line. Michael Deach able to just beat out Dave Payton there, as it looks like Zach Nichols will be ready to bring it down to the front stretch here. As don't go anywhere, folks, we will be chatting with our top 5 finishers here after the race. Excuse me, our top 3 finishers at that. And of course, we will save Zach Nichols to the end, talk about his season and yet another championship for the 44. As Zach Nichols will park it down here in Victory Lane on the front straightaway to cap off yet another great season here at ASRC.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back to Hickory Motor Speedway, and the first driver we will be talking to here tonight is the driver of the 86 machine of Stephen Hoffman. Stephen, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, what's going on, Brett?
All right, man. How are we doing after a long 125 laps here? But I tell you what, might have been not as long in the race car, because I tell you what, time flew on by with that long green flag run to the finish there.
Yeah, car was a handful there at the end. Kind of got a little lengthy there in the middle, but toward the end, like you said, laps clicked off pretty quick.
Yeah, that it did. And it seemed like people started to burn off the right rear, started to get wicked loose on corner entry. How's this 86 machine feeling at the end there?
Probably could have ran another 20 or 30 or so before she really fell on its face. Uh, was able to get up to fifth there after a good battle with Landon, and then reeled in Hayden and Jimmy, and was able to set Jimmy up with a pass and set him up into turn three, and got on the bottom of him, and it looked like he was pushing real bad on exit. So Looked like he wouldn't be able to protect the bottom that much because I could just get a run out of 4 or 2 on him, and was able to wheel it around him and just ran out of time for second.
Yeah, I tell you what, closing kind of laps, green flag pass there, usually pretty challenging. And Steven, you made it look pretty easy there.
Yeah, I just tried to do as clean as I could. Landon and I think we had a little bit of contact. I just got loose into one on the bottom of him, but I think he was struggling there. It looked like he burned his stuff up pretty good. He was loose on exit real bad. But once we got around him, it looked like Hayden was just kind of stuck behind Jimmy there. Couldn't do nothing with him, and like I said, luckily we was able to get around both of them.
Yeah, that you were. And, running, I think you missed a few races here this season, right, Steven?
Yeah, I'm not too keen on these street stocks. I ain't got them quite figured out. It seems like I try to save tires and it ends up biting me in the long run. I either get involved in a wreck or I save too much and then there's not enough time to get back up there. But they're pretty fun to drive. I just don't have enough seat time in them, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. These things are definitely a handful, especially long races like we have here. But yeah, overall, with your part time schedule, I mean, still eighth in points, knocking down a few more top fives. But of course, the big thing, P number two in points with the Tuesday night series with the super late models. That's got to feel pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, that's our bread and butter. That's the fun ones. Not that these aren't fun, but the supers, they're just a lot. They're a whole different car, a lot more power. You got to really mind your p's and q's in that thing. Honestly, with these street stocks, they can be a handful too. These things are a lot looser than you think they would be, for uh, for as little as power as they do. But they're heavy and they burn the tires off these things. But when you get some long green flag runs, you can see who saves their stuff and who burns it up early.
Yeah, that is definitely the case here, Steven. And I tell you what, you hit the strategy very, very well. I mean, how tough was it to kind of give up that track position at the start, kind of save your stuff, but then be able to drive up through the field like we saw from this 86 here?
You know what they say as a race car driver, it's fun passing people when you hate seeing people blow by you. Last week we tried the same strategy and it failed miserably. I think we maybe cracked the top 10. This week was thinking about doing the same thing, was thinking about going from the get-go, but uh, just stay with the same strategy, but I went maybe 20 laps earlier than I did last week, and I think that's the key.
Yeah, I think you timed it out very, very nicely here. And I think just maybe a caution there late maybe would have helped you on out because, like you said, just ran out of time to catch P number two.
Yeah, it would have been fun. I'm sure Zach checks out on us like he normally does, but would have been on the inside, so I don't know how we would have done after tires cooled off. Would have been fun to find out though.
Yeah, that it would have, but a great way to cap things on off here in 2025, Steven. I mean, like we talked about, you with your car with the super late models finishing P number two. And I think I'll have to double check, but you were looking pretty good in the overall standings, even with, the part time with the street stocks as well.
Yeah, like you said, I think I missed maybe 2 or 3 races, and then the ones I did race, I was lucky to get in the top 10 in a lot of them just because strategy or bad luck with 5 to go. There was toward the middle of the season, we were getting kind of crazy with the green white checkers, and we come out on the wrong end on a bunch of those. But yeah, between Tuesday night and Wednesday night, it's been a great season. It's always fun racing with these guys. ASRC always puts on some good stuff.
Yeah, that they do. And then, of course, we chatted a little bit about it last night, but we get to do it once again here tonight. The Snowball Derby here, less than a month away now. And I know you got to be looking forward to that thing with the Supers.
Yeah, it sounded like Tanner said 43 cars will be the cap. So if we can hit that number, that would be awesome to have that many cars show up. It's going to be a heck of an event. If you are any kind of short track racer or oval track racer and you're watching this, sign up for that because that's going to be a blast.
Yeah, that it will be. And yeah, double checking the points, Steven. Here without last night nor tonight, and you came in about 39 points behind Zach Corey. So I think you're just not going to be able to get there on the 13 machine. But overall, man, P number three in the overall standings as well. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, that is pretty neat. I didn't know I was that high up between the two of them. That's a pretty good feat running Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Next year we'll have to hit a little harder on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely a really cool one to kind of get everyone involved with the participation as well as when you win it, it's a pretty cool feeling to know that you did well in both series.
That it is. When they first did it, I never thought, like I said, up until maybe the latest season with the late model stocks, I never really cared for points. Just always wanted to try to get up to the best finish, but uh, kind of just took it a little bit more serious, following the schedules, putting a little bit more seat time during the week, playing the sim a little bit more. Like Tanner was saying last night in his interview, when you only run 1 or 2 times a week, I'm sure there's some guys on here they're running races every night in some leagues, and you only get better the more you do it. So it's definitely helped out playing on the sim a lot more.
Yeah, that it has. And Steven, it's been a pleasure talking to you as you go up on the podium in both nights here at Hickory. So it seems like this track suits the 86 machine pretty nice.
Yeah, for last night was the first time I ever ran a race here, other than some practice laps, or that's really about it. So, um, kind of like how Sobo was, taking a liking to this place.
Yeah, this place is definitely fun when you nail it. And I tell you what, you did that here tonight, Steven. So before we let you go and celebrate 2025 here, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Shout out to all the ASRC guys that put this league on. I know it's a lot of work. Tanner, yourself, David, Andrew, you for doing the broadcast. Like I said, again, they're always fun to go back and watch. Just something to do on lunch break, or I'll probably stay up tonight and just tinker around and watch some of it, have it in the background. Mom and Dad are watching. Racers for Christ, Joe Lane Sons Plumbing, Five Star Bodies, and whoever watches us turn left on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. And then make sure to definitely check out the Snowball Derby coming up in January.
Yeah, that race will definitely be not miss action. As yeah, Steven, once again, man, congrats on some great runnings here in 2025. And you, my man, have a great off season, and we'll catch you down in Pensacola in less than a month's time.
Yes, sir. You have yourself a good Christmas, Brett.
All righty, you as well. As that was Stephen Hoffman here finishing in P number 3. Now we'll head on up to our runner-up finisher. It is C. Bowen here tonight in the 43 on the car or the 17 machine. All righty, C. Bowen, do you got a copy?
I do.
All righty, man. First and foremost, I think I probably butchered your first name a few hundred times here tonight. How do we say it?
It's Psy.
All
So
right,
like
Cy Bowen.
SIGH. Yep.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Now we got it for in case you run some more. But I'm seeing a trend here out of you. It seems like you really like Hickory with these street stocks.
Yeah. I figured I'd jump in. Had some free time tonight, and just wanted to hop in with Zach and Matt and all them, and just run some races. And luckily, it turned out pretty good. Able to pull off a second, so not too shabby. I know I've only ran like one time with this series before, so it was fun to actually get out here, race with some fast guys, and see where we kind of stacked up against the field.
Yeah, and I tell you what, up on the podium once again, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you won the last race you jumped in, right?
I think it was a top three at least. We may have won, but yeah, it should have been a first, second, or third.
Yeah, definitely up on the podium. So you would keep that streak on alive. And yeah, last time coming at Hickory with the street stocks here tonight, once again doing the same. And I tell you what'd you think of your car there after the 125? Because that was a long green flag run to the finish.
So it was really tight off the start. So I tried saving the right front, just taking it somewhat easy, and trying to burn the right rear a little bit to get it to turn. And after we hit about 70, 80 laps in, it started losing the rear again. So instead of just being tight the entire time, we hit the halfway mark and it got wrecking loose. So there at the end, we were kind of just holding on. I know third was coming for us there at the end. So basically just holding on and hoping no yellows, because I know Steven would have got us if we would have went yellow.
Yeah, and luckily this race went green to the checkered here. A nice run to the finish. And I tell you what, this 43 machine looked pretty sporty. I mean, how'd the car feel? Because it seemed like you're able to make moves up on both the top and the bottom when it mattered.
Yeah, luckily, most of the time we were around people that we were in a voice chat with, so we were giving each other some extra room. I know once we got side by side with Jimmy, he kind of just let us go. So we were fortunate enough there. Some of the time we were stuck on the outside of somebody that we weren't necessarily communicating with, and still able to hold on. It was still with some fresh tires and where the bottom wasn't necessarily the fast way around. So timing definitely helped out there. Got super lucky and just able to kind of coast out there, staying in like the top four for most of the beginning and set cruise control after that once we got up to second.
Yeah, that you did. And I tell you what, that move up to second, almost a Code Brown moment. I mean, both leaders sideways into turn number one. That's always a scary feeling there.
Yeah, yeah, I just followed that through the bottom, and I think we nearly got nicked. So luckily we were good there. And I know once Zach gets out in the lead, it's kind of just pace him and hope he screws up, which is very rare for him. So I was trying to just keep pace with him. Earlier in the race, though, he was doing way better at saving tires, or at least not burning off the right rear, so he kind of just drove away from us.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you still had some great pace there. I mean, they're at the end still in the low 16s. I have you, and your best lap actually beating the 44 machine.
Yeah, so we weren't too half bad. I mean, maybe a yellow helps us out, or a couple more yellows. We can stay with Zach and maybe compete for the lead. But long run, yeah, he just started pulling away from us, and I know Steven was saving tires early in the race, so he would have definitely been trouble if we got a yellow.
Yeah, definitely would have been really, really interesting. But yeah, man, I mean, overall, a great run here tonight. And I don't know if you know, but in less than a month's time here, Snowball Derby with the super late models. How do you feel about those cars?
Well, those are normally my go-to, those in the late model stocks, but I have prior commitments as of right now until I get some clarification on what time on the 10th we're actually going to be racing. If it's early enough in the day, I might be able to make it, but if it's later at night, then I got prior commitments, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Well, we'll hope it all times on out so you can be a part of the show. And yeah, man, do we plan to make some more appearances here in 2026 if the time allows it for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, if time allows. Right now, it's going to be a hit or miss, but I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to hop in for a couple super races and street stocks if they plan on doing both series next year. At least like 2 or 3 times, I would assume.
Yeah, as I tell you what, we do in fact plan to return both cars here and on the respective nights. So yeah, we definitely look forward to seeing you out on the speedway if that's the case, and see what you got in those supers. Because yeah, I'm sure just like we saw tonight, pretty good shoeing those as well.
Oh, absolutely, and they're a blast. Everybody in there, you get a little bit more showing with those things and a little bit more competition. So it'd be fun to get out there, race with them, and see where we stack up against the super field.
Yeah, that it would be awesome to see. But I kind of like to also know a little bit about people's kind of sim setups. You know, everyone seems to have something kind of different. So, Cy, for you, what do you got for wheel pedals? What are you looking at? All that good stuff these days.
Well, for the longest time, I was running just basic Logitech stuff, but in I think like 3 years ago, I upgraded all to full Thrustmaster, so just like a T300 wheel and the TLCM or whatever wheel pedals, and then it's just on a little stand and a little racing chair and a monitor that swivels all around, so I can kind of just put that wherever. It's pretty basic, just one screen, not fancy, like the triple screen guys or anything like that.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, making that setup work very, very well is once again, man, up on the podium and another great run here at Hickory. So, Cy, before we let you go and call it a night here for 2025, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out on the broadcast here.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody that we were racing with, Jimmy, Matt, Zach, uh, Grady, Landon, we were on a chat with them. So they were helping us out, giving us some plenty of racing room. And then of course all my family watching on TV. So they were all supporting me. And then yeah, I think that's basically it. Family especially, they're supporting me doing the online racing, and then of course in the real race car.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, my man. Well, it was a great time talking to you once again, and we look forward to seeing you here in 2026. So, for the rest of 2025, man, have a great time, enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you for hosting this as well.
Yeah, man, thanks for you to take some time and be a part of it. It was a blast to watch.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher, Cy Bowen, in the 17 or the 43 on the car. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 44 of Zach Nichols. Zach, do you got a copy?
Yeah, we do.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 125 laps here at Hickory?
I'm feeling pretty good. We actually kept the car out of trouble unlike yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I tell you what a flip it was tonight for you. I mean, last night involved, I was pretty sure in every single incident. Here tonight involved in zero, and you're down in Victory Lane.
Yeah, I mean, it sure as heck felt like every wreck yesterday we were involved in. So to not be involved in one today was a, a mood changer, I guess. But we were almost in one with Greg and Jimmy. They got together right
Yeah,
in
I
front of
mean,
us, and we were able to sneak on by.
yeah, exactly. I want to talk about that moment, a big moment in the race. Two of your teammates as well, or I should say, the friends all in that same chat together. They get into it. I'm sure that was a wild scene. And then you just squeak on by because that smoke was pretty dense, at least for us in the broadcast booth.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did. Greggy was kind of like all over. I mean, he wasn't all over. He was fishtailing trying to save his race car, and I didn't know whether to go low, go high, so I kind of chose high for the moment, and then he flew back up, so I had to dart back left. So luckily we were able to sneak on by on that one and come home with the lead. Kind of got gifted there, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. That worked out great for you because, like you said, got the race lead without really having to race those guys to get that position. So, I mean, it seemed like those tires on this 44 machine looking pretty good there. Still looking good there at the end. How was this car driving?
I mean, I kind of figured that the rears would probably give out just because this car is just like even if it's tight, it usually the rears will still give out late in the race. But I don't know. At New Smyrna, I think it was last week. I kind of figured out that like if you kind of shallow entry this car, it doesn't really burn the right rear off that much. So that's what we kind of just sat down and kind of stayed in line that first half of the race and just made shallow entries into each corner, and I think it paid off.
Yeah, I think so as well. But overall, man, this place seemed like it was very, very tough to pass at. I'm sure you're kind of glad in the back of your mind you didn't have to start all the way at the back of the field like normal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, luckily, I mean, yesterday we got lucky too with starting on the top a lot, and the same thing happened tonight. I actually didn't miss any shifts tonight, so I'm happy about that. I think we're learning on that aspect. So I think we did good on our restarts. I started on top most, and I'm pretty sure that's where I made most of my passes up on the top side.
Yeah, that definitely seemed like the case. And yeah, that was actually something that we mentioned on the broadcast as well. That it seemed like this 44 machine, the only place he ever really struggled was on restarts with shifting. In the past couple races, man, it seems like you are on your game.
Oh yeah, I don't know what was wrong with the thing. I don't know. I've always struggled with this car with shifting, but luckily tonight I hit all my shifts and yeah, luckily we're able to get to the lead with that car that crash and get home with it.
Yeah, and overall, man, yet another great season. Overall, man, 9 wins out of 13 races and walking away with the championship. Man, that is some awesome stats. And just like you did in the Supers on Tuesday nights, you finished every single race up in the top 10.
I didn't know that. I for sure thought in the super side I definitely finished outside the top 10 in at least one race because we struggled over on the super side a lot and I we had our fair share of struggles in the street stocks, but for the most part we were pretty good. I just feel like the street stock just kind of fits my driving style a little bit. Just they're just big boats, you know. Can't really hustle these things that much, or you'll pay the price. So I enjoyed racing these street stocks and looking forward to it next year.
Yeah, and I know the rest of the field is as you will try and go 2 in a row with the springtime. And yeah, man, we also walked away with a third championship, the overall. And of course, with you picking up the 2 trophies for the series, you of course got to pick up the third one as well. So the best short track racer here in 2025 fall season, Zach, goes to you as well.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. I mean, like I said yesterday in the interview, this league's just a ton of fun. The group of guys in it, it's a ton of fun to come out each week and race with them, and just everyone has a lot of respect for each other in here. And like I said, I just look forward to racing each week with these guys. And yeah.
Yeah, man, it is awesome to see you up and out on track each and every night during these series. And I tell you what, man, put together a heck of a season. And of course, big one as well. You now, of course, adding some more wins on to the winningest driver here in ASRC.
Yeah, hey, I mean, we got this. I don't know if the snowball counts, but you said yesterday you're racing, so I mean, shoot, looks like you're gonna try and come back for that thing.
Oh yeah, we're at least got one start confirmed for 2026, so we'll see what we can do with that. And I tell you what, we even chatted about it last night as well. It's always a blast to get us racing side by side at any racetrack, it seems like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had our fair share of good battles, and yeah, we're looking forward to racing against you in the Derby.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be not miss racing action. And with the Derby, Zach, you come in with weight off your shoulders. You, my man, already locked on in.
Yep, yep. I mean, that Five Flags race, back when we did lock ourselves in, that was a ton of fun to race that. You know, me and Jaden had a good battle there in the first race, and then also in the second race. So the people that are watching, they're in for a treat with this snowball derby.
Yeah, that they are. And I tell you what, a treat was put on this season and a whooping here by the 44, Zach. You walk away with the hardware in all three categories. So before we let you go and celebrate all of that, we of course got to hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank for a great season here in the fall of 2025. So Zach, we'll hand over the mic and have you have at it one last time.
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank my IRL sponsors, RSS Mobile Trailer Repair, Carney's Complete Auto Service, PSS&C, R&M Towing. If you need some graphics, go hit up Hoax Graphics. He does great work. My dad's watching, like shout him out. My uncle Kenny's also watching, shout him out as well. You guys for broadcasting, you guys do a great job, and all the league admins for putting this whole deal on. It's a ton of fun to come out each week and race, and all the league sponsors as well. I don't know what they are, but I know LaPlante and Postma Flooring. I don't know if there's any more, but I'd like to shout them both out, and yeah, we're looking forward to next season.
Yeah, that we are. Fresh start in 2026. Things kicking off with a bang with the Snowball Derby. So, Zach, once again, big congratulations here for the championships and a great season here. So, you, my man, have a great holiday season. Go enjoy the time, and we'll catch you back in 2026.
Yep, you too. You have a great Christmas.
Thank you, you as well, Zach. So that was our race winner and champion here in the Street Stocks down in Victory Lane. Zach Nichols getting the job done in the super late models, the Street Stocks, and the overall ASRC short track champion. Let's run through tonight's race results and get things wrapped on up. Zach Nichols picks up his 8th win on the season. Cy Bowen will finish P number 2. Stephen Hoffman rounding out the podium. Hayden Swank will bring it home in 4th. And Jimmy Gauker will round out the top 5. Andrew Payne will finish 6th. 7th going to Greggy Long. Matt Kemp will come home in 8th. 9th going to Michael Deach. And rounding out the top 10 is Dave Payton. Pete Dillon will finish in 11th. 12th going to Landon Atkins. 13th is John DeMeester. 14th going to Zach Corer. 15th is Chase Swank. Ron Hart will finish 16th. 17th, Eric Hahn. And 18th is Chuck Darling. So that will do it here tonight from Hickory Motor Speedway. The season finale done and over with. Want to say thank you to each and every viewer here this season, whether watching live or a replay. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to spend with me, enjoying some good old sim racing here with the American Sim Racing Club. American Sim Racing Club is partnered with a few people we got to give a special thanks to for this season. LaPlante Racing Products, Boardwalk Subs, as well as Postma Flooring. Also, Turn 3 is partnered with Premier Setup Shops. You can find out more about them with the link in the description. Even if you don't buy anything, a click would go a long way and would be greatly appreciated from myself. So that will do it here tonight. Everyone, have a great rest of your night. Have a great week, as well as have a great and safe holiday times. And we'll catch you back in 2026 for the ASRC Snowball Derby. So that'll do it here tonight. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.